Hello Year 1, we're continuing to think about the clothing worn at the first Thanksgiving. So this week we're looking at Native American clothing. So I've got lots of natural shades here because their clothing would have been made from natural materials and also animal skins. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make some tassels. The Native American style quite often had tassels on it. So I'm going to fold this in half. And then on the bit that kind of opens, this bit here, I'm going to make a little mark to show where about halfway is. So about here is halfway. And then I'm going to cut from that halfway point all the way down to the pointy bit where the paper comes together. So roughly, I'm going to cut that line like that. Okay, so here I go. Okay. Now, once I've done that, and I open it up, I've got this V shape. And what I'm going to do is turn this into almost like a collar for the Native American Indian. So I'm going to cut little snips to show where the tassels would be. Now, the trick here is not to cut into your last snip, otherwise bits will start to drop off. Now, if bits do drop off, it's actually not a problem. It kind of looks quite cool if you have a few gaps anyway. But I'm just going down here, cutting little snips in. I'm going to keep going. Okay. So these are my tassels on the collar. And this is actually going to be a lady's outfit that I'm going to make today. Because my pilgrim outfit was for a boy, so I thought I'd do a Native American lady. Now, what looks kind of cool is whenever you're ready to glue down your collar onto your background, it looks kind of cool if you have it bumped up a bit, like 3D effect, so it sticks off the page slightly. So my advice is going to be, maybe when you're gluing it, rather than gluing it completely flat, have glue. In fact, I'll show you now. Have some glue on this edge here and this edge here, okay? So not across the middle, just the edge and the edge. And then when you're putting it down on your background paper, just have it so it bumps up a little bit, okay? So just like that, okay? It gives it a bit of a 3D effect. Right, now, I can either draw straight onto my paper, or if I've got some extra paper, I can do a separate design. So I'm going to do a Native American clothing design. So the first thing I'm going to do is a circle. Okay. And then I'm going to add a beak, because this is going to turn into like an eagle, which was symbolic with the Native Americans. So there's my beak. So I've done my circle, I've done my beak. Now I do one long straight line that goes underneath. Okay, there we go. And then under here, I do a line there and a line there. And now I'm just gonna put some stripes in. So I put in some stripes like this for the wing going this way. And then this side, I have them going in the opposite direction, and then down here I have a pattern like that. Now, if you want to, you can colour this in. So I'm going to colour in, I'm just going to use simple natural colours that they would have had back almost 400 years ago for the first Thanksgiving. So that's going to be my pattern there, and then I'm going to add a red stripe, I think, along the top. And I'm going to add, I think, another red stripe along the bottom here. I'm just going to turn this around. Okay. Now you can always research other Native American patterns. You don't have to do the same as me. There's lots and lots of patterns that you can find on the internet that you could have a go at copying. Okay. And then I think the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put in some arrowheads. So I'm going to do 2 going in that direction and 2 going in that direction. I'm going to do the same here. 2 going in that direction, 2 going in that direction. And then I think the last pattern I'm going to do, I'm going to do some crisscrosses. Okay, I'm going to do it again one more time. Okay, and now I've got my outfit, and this is going to be maybe just like a belt or a sash. So what I'll do is I'll fold this so it goes around my background. Let me just put this around here. There we go. So I will glue that down and that will stay in place. Now the last thing you could do, if you've got some beads at home, is you could, and hopefully your beads are maybe a bit bigger than these are very tricky to thread, but if you've maybe got some nice colourful beads, and the Native American culture was to have a lot of colourful beads on their clothing. So I'm going to make, with a little bit of wire, I'm going to make a little necklace. So like I said, these beads are super teeny tiny. I would recommend, if you're going to try this at home and you do own some beads, that you use beads that are a bit bigger. These are definitely not really for little fingers. These are more for grown-ups, this size of beads. So I'll just really quickly demonstrate, I think maybe 3 beads. Okay, so there's, let's get that on there. There we go, very fiddly. There's 2 beads, and I think I'll do a colour pattern. So I'll have purple, green, and then one more purple. Okay, there's a purple there. Okay, so I've got my 3 beads on there. Let's put this to one side. And then what I'll do is kind of turn this into kind of a necklace by wrapping my wire around. So again, this is very fiddly work, definitely not something to do without maybe some string might be better and some bigger plastic beads. So you might end up with something like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape it behind here so it stays down. And then because mine's made of wire, I can kind of mold it into the shape that I want it. So there's, let's put this windy bit at the back. So let's put this bit here and let's wrap it round. Okay, and I'm going to stick this down in the middle on the back, and you'll see why I'm putting it on the back in a moment, because when let's put them beads there. When I turn it round, I'm going to fold the wire into a position like that. And there's my sash. And there you go. That's my Native American outfit for Thanksgiving. There you go.